I like
All
it.
right. We're gonna go with. Well, let's see. I know. Yeah, I think. I think we're gonna go back to Bad Boy. You have another topic for us, don't you?
Yes,
Oh, it
favorite
is.
hobbies.
Favorite hobbies.
All
Mm.
right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I got a lot of hobbies, man.
Bad Boy, do you want to start that one off?
Yes, I would have to say disc golfing. I haven't been doing it lately because we've been having a ton of rain here in Florida.
Yeah.
What the hell is disc golfing?
Oh,
I
disc
don't know what
golfing.
this
This
is.
is an Olympic
Okay.
sport.
It is. It is an Olympic sport. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
can't do that, man. I'm ignorant of this stuff. I'll believe whatever you say.
All right. Well, think of golfing basically, right? Except this time you have different. You have discs instead of clubs, right? And we call them discs, not frisbees.
They are
How big are these discs? Because this is what I started to think about when I heard disc golfing.
Hold on, Rocco.
Yeah. While he's doing that, I'm going to keep going. So, instead of it being a hole that you have to hit the ball into,
'cause I didn't know
you
we were
will
gonna
be
jump
throwing the
into it.
disc into a
Wait.
cage, which is a bucket,
Whoa.
like a bucket kind of cage. It's going to have like chains on it so that you can.
On the ground?
Yep. So it'd be a pole coming out of the ground, and then you'll have a bucket like this that has a topper here, and in between this bottom and the top, there's chains that come down, and you can throw the disc into the chains, and it goes into the bucket. So they'll have pars, like par 3 on this hole, par 4, depending on how far they are, and your
Yeah.
discs are going to be, we call them discs because they are different than frisbees, although people will try to throw them like a frisbee. They're smaller and thicker, and they have kind of an edge to them so that they can fly, as you can see here, as
Wow.
Stevo displays that.
This one
And-
right here is a putter, and
Yep.
it has a bigger lip, so therefore it floats. It floats a lot straighter, and it goes.
Instead of just kind of piercing the air and flying fast like your driver would be. So you're gonna
Right.
have drivers, you're gonna have mid ranges, and you're gonna have putters.
mid
too.
range. Mid range. It's got more of a.
Looks more like a
concave,
traditional frisbee because it has
Yeah.
like an
Right.
underbottom.
Closer.
but it's a lot
yeah.
heavier. And the thing is it flies a lot different too because it's got that lip on it. Now then you have your
Sounds like fun.
yes. Then you have your driver, which is just like almost like a razor,
like
razor
a UFO looking kind of.
Yeah, and it's like, and they have different speeds on them. Like you can get different ones. Like there's 14 speed, which is like the highest for people. Like if you throw, you have a lot of power on your spin. Because if you put too much power on your spin, it's gonna go to the right. Like there's a lot of stuff involved with it, man. It's
Yeah.
really a lot of fun, and it's free except for
Yeah.
when you buy the discs, which are like probably anywhere from like $15 to $20 maybe.
Now it's free most places, not everywhere, but he's
Oh,
saying
really?
because like not everywhere, because some places will charge you to go play at their park,
Really?
but I mean like 95% are free.
Because
Yeah.
I haven't been to one yet.
I've been to
that
one
is
that
a
had to
free-
pay here in Georgia.
Oh,
I'm
that's
actually going to go disc golfing tomorrow, which is kind of fun.
Nice.
Cool that you're even mentioning that.
Now,
I
can
got-
you guys drink while you disc golf?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Encouraged. It
Yeah.
sounds
like,
like.
it's involved.
Yeah, it's part of the process. Yeah.
not recommended, but yeah.
Yeah, Steven and I and my brother actually went out, and we would do this in Georgia often when Steven comes up for sales season, pretty much in Medicare Advantage. We would play disc golf often, and we'd bring a 40 out, because out here in Georgia you can have a 40. So we would buy a 40 and just kind of carry that bad boy around while we were playing. So by the end of it, we were feeling pretty toasty.
That's awesome.
So you can't even throw them though the way you throw a normal frisbee. There's all different kinds
No.
of throws to it too. There's from the you got the underhand throw, you got the side overhand kind of throw, you've got the side arm throw, like you got all different kinds of throws you can do.
And you just need to hit the chains. You don't have to get it in between, like in the bucket, right?
No,
So
the
you
chains
have
will
to-
help it. You have to get it in the bucket, but hitting the chains will stop the disc and drop the disc, which will usually tend to put it in the bucket.
So the chains don't go all the way around, because
Like,
that would.
they do. Yeah, they
Are
go
they
all the way
wide
around.
apart so that like you can actually get it in? You can't-
As you can see there, that's the bucket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those listening to MP3, the chains go down into the bucket. The bucket is really wide. So I see what you're saying. So you
Yep.
hit the
It
change,
catches
and then
it.
it's gonna fall
got
into
it.
the bucket. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I was
this-
envisioning the chains outside of the bucket.
This is
not
a
the case.
awesome pastime because it's like Stevo was saying, you're in a park, man, and it's beautiful. It's
Yes.
beautiful to just be walking around the park at the same time playing a fun game that's relaxing. I don't like
Most of the time.
golf. Yeah, most
I'm
of the
not
time.
too big on golf either.
I'm not big. I hate golf, in fact, and it's a big business sport, and I'm involved in business, and just like, I don't want to do this. But disc golf brings a whole different play to the game. Same
Yeah.
concept as golf, different clubs and stuff, but so much more fun.
I've had my I took my boss disc golfing actually, and he played ultimate frisbee in college, and he's like,
oh wow, there you go.
He's like, I played frisbee, I can play disc golf. And completely, no, it's not the same at all. He immediately threw it, and it just went like just way
Took
left.
off.
You know what I mean? There's a technique down to it. There's instructional videos like this,
Wow.
like when I started playing it, like I was like, it's been around for like 20 plus years, probably even longer than that. And I was like, man, how come I didn't know about this when I was like 17 or like me and Rocco, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So you, man, do you want to say anything else about this hobby that you like?
The competition, definitely the competition. Love that.
Cool.
And you can play the same course over and over again, but it's just like, I guess, real golf, like you can just have a bad day. You know what I mean? You can have a bad game. You hit trees all the time. What I say that I like about it the most, it's just the competition mainly, and just being out, walking around, and just, having fun with friends, basically, when you're doing it. And you can do it by yourself, too, but...
I got
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hobbies, man. Well, I don't know what my favorite one is. I guess. Well, there's definitely gaming's up there. That's a fun ass hobby.
Yeah.
Meditation for me is a big one too. I don't know if you call that hobby though. It's like, I don't know. I'm asking you guys kind of. I'm bouncing that idea off.
Yeah.
Well,
anything you enjoy doing. That's not.
Anything you enjoy doing, right?
Yeah.
I guess so. So meditation for me would be one. And I would go with that because in life there's constantly super stressful things that occur always every day, and especially for me for the past 2 weeks it's been something new. And here's a perfect little example real fast. My daughter, who is 11 months old right now, she had an ear infection. So we had to go to the doctor, obviously, and we got her amoxicillin, and she was taking amoxicillin, which we also found out she not only had an ear infection, but she had a stomach virus going on, and she was teething. So it's like we got 3 serious things going on. This girl's in some pain and stuff. But so issue number 1. But then you wake up the next day and you find out that she's allergic to penicillin, and she's having an allergic breakout. Now you got to go pick up Benadryl, and you're giving it to her, and she's not accepting the second version either. So we have to get her a third medication. So it's just like one after another kind of things in life. You never know what's going to happen. But that's why meditation for me is like one of the best hobbies, is because it allows that breakup of stress and then separation of all. Because when I get into meditation, it's that vastness that we were just speaking about, like that space or that the ocean kind of deal. And for me, it's actually comforting, because it's like research shows that when you meditate, the part of your brain that disassociates with the body starts getting fired up and powered on. Where you'll start to your I guess the limitation of your body, that part of your brain gets turned on, where you can be connected with everything essentially, not just where your physical body is. And now in meditation, after just like practice with anything else, okay, because originally when I first started, this was not the way it occurred. But at the point that I am today, when I get into meditation, I get that separation from the body, and I kind of feel that vastness. Like if you close your eyes and it's all dark and there's just literally nothing, it's like I become a part of that. And when I do, it's like stresses immediately kind of feel like I become like almost like transparent, and the stresses that I was carrying within myself just kind of fade into everything else too. And it's like I don't become so identified with them. So for me as a hobby, meditation is for me, because there's so many different aspects that I feel like it helps me out within life, on top of like it helps me be more focused, and it helps me become more creative when I'm coming with like business strategies or coming up with ideas for artistically for videos that I'm doing, whatever it be. I feel like it genuinely helps me out with just pretty much thinking clear and straight. And maybe that's because I kind of tune down that nonstop chatter that always happens, and that's what meditation essentially is, to practice to kind of tone that guy down, and allow that silence to kind of break in more often, to allow me to kind of have time to think instead of just running with the first thought that's coming ahead.
Yeah, it sounds therapeutic.
It varies. That's why I kind of like one of my number one. other people have the hobby of gardening, and it's that therapeutic.
Right.
At the end of the day, even Stevo's, disc golf's a meditation to some extent.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic for him. He gets into the groove, and as long as it's not one of those days he's like so identified with the score that he's just becoming stressed out by not doing good, but he's just consumed in the fun that he's having of playing the disc golf. He's meditating.
Does that happen with meditation? Do you ever, like, because I like video games, but I do that usually for therapeutic purposes, but there are times where I get it's harmful.
It's the same with meditation.
Stressful.
It could be like if I can go into meditation and I can go into the position of meditation. Doesn't mean I'm actually meditating. You know what I mean? Like, and then I'm allowing like the thoughts that are kind of going on, and instead of just kind of holding back and becoming a watcher of those thoughts and just looking at them and then letting them go and looking at them and letting them go instead of going, oh, I'm with that, and just kind of taking the ride. Sometimes I'll take the ride. And if I'm taking the ride, I'm doing the same thing as the guy that's getting stressed out playing disc golf that he loves, or the guy that's getting stressed out by the therapeutic game that he's playing. I'm not doing the therapeutic part. I'm attaching to that ride and joining with it and going with it, and that means I'm going to be identified with any type of stresses or emotions that are connected with those thoughts instead of being disconnected, which is where the therapeutic part comes in, because then you're just there for the enjoyment, not for anything else that comes down the road, if it be stress or not stress or what event that could have caused you stress. You're still in that therapeutic mindset of like, whatever, man, I'm enjoying what I'm doing because it's fun for me.
Yeah, yeah. And that's how I feel with games. Like, they are really there to have me escape reality and like kind of just veg out and be away from the stresses of real life.
So would that be a hobby then for you then? Or I mean, I know it's a hobby, but is it like?
I think gaming is a hobby for me because there are collecting aspects of it. You you play these games, you follow them, you want to beat them. Gaming is definitely a hobby for me.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing is, it's also a career, and surprisingly, it hasn't really deterred me from the hobby of gaming. But there are moments where it's stressful.
Too. I mean, that shows you your passion, though. You know what I mean?
I think so. I think,
if you're passionate about something, you can do it as a job, and you still enjoy it, and you still do it in the side, part time too.
Because you work on games all day, right?
Yeah. And let me be very clear: playing and making games are extremely different. They're very different. That's probably what helps. And it speaks volumes, I think, because like although I've made a couple of games here and there or started some projects, I definitely don't come home and then start making them right away because I'm just fried. I can't even like begin to think like going into the same programs, like because I'm just in it 5 days a week, 24/7, or 5 days a week, just like 8 hours a day. So most of the times more. Yeah. But so video games would be it for me. I don't know, football, I guess. Yeah. Like, is that a hot? Like I don't play it, but
that's a hobby,
it.
Dude.
Like,
I guess like
I would say that football is awesome.
Because
I definitely
Final Fantasy. Fantasy football is like that's like a hobby for sure. There's people that get off on that thing, man. That's their thing, and they play it hardcore, Vegas style, and that's like that would be a hobby for sure.
Yeah, so I'd say football outside of games would be like a pretty big hobby for me. I follow my team, I follow other teams, I'm very invested in all the players. Like I want to know what's happening. When fantasy football does roll around, I'm playing like 2 or 3 different leagues. Like that's a fun hobby for me.
It's a weird one for me too. Is like mental stuff's a hobby for me. Like, because I've been into the hypnosis, into the neuroscience, into the psychology, all those different. That's something that I kind of tapped into later on in life, and I didn't really realize that I had a lot of enjoyment in kind of educating myself on that. And I was like, wow, I actually got that passion, like we were just talking about. I have that passion. I could probably create a job out of this and be happy doing the job, and then coming home and still educating myself on all this other stuff. That would be fun for me. That's something for me as a hobby. I definitely pick up books and other material to try to expand my knowledge on everything mind, because I feel like at the end of the day, that's like the big gatekeeper of how my life is going to be experienced and stuff. So
that's cool.
I don't know. It also just intrigues me because I feel like that's a good way to actually be able to help other individuals too, because as human beings, we're social beings. We like to talk. And if you kind of help somebody be like, okay, talk to me and let me hear about what you're going through, and kind of having some knowledge about how the mind works, I can possibly help you out a little bit with maybe this might be a better perspective. At least for getting you past that topic, I like that though, because it feels like a healing. There's like a healing part behind it. They can help people. It creates that hobby for me.
Everybody needs a hobby, I feel like.
You have to. I've talked to some
It's
people
tough for
about that.
people who don't have it.
Would you arguably say that this is a hobby that we're doing right
Oh
now?
God, yeah. And I chose not to mention it because it almost felt like it goes without saying.
Yeah, it goes
This is
without
for
saying.
sure a hobby.
I agree with you though, Clay. I know people that don't have hobbies, and I feel like
think
you know,
they're more
and this
stressed out.
I don't know. This is more of a judgmental side, and I hate to kind of be like this, but it's, you know, you have to kind of, I don't know. You don't have to, but I look at it as the people that I see that don't have hobbies, they tend to have less things that they've done in life, less experiences, because those hobbies also drive them to go out and go do something besides the norm that they're kind of constantly doing. Even though the hobby can be a norm, it's just, it also can break up that everyday stuff that they do, just regardless.